Hey everybody, clearing. The pine cone still cracks me up, and I got this too, so clearing. Anyways, all right, let's get into this. So let's see what the Divine Feminines need to know at this time. So thank you, Divine Creator. What is it that the Divine Feminines most need to know on the journey at this time? 10 of Cups. Wow, Divine Feminines, you are going for your personal bliss. I just had this most incredible burst of freedom and like hallelujah kind of feeling that I heard the word hallelujah. Because Divine Feminines, so many of you of the Divine Feminine Collective have let go and are in charge of our own happiness. So this is absolutely beautiful. And then we also get King of Wands. So it's on the fence. This is my Divine Masculine card, but it came out on the side. And so for many Divine Feminines, there is this letting go of who they thought was their Divine Masculine, leaving room for that to have been a karmic situation, leaving room for it to be the Divine Masculine, but not wishing to connect if it's not appropriate because it's not reciprocal. But there is this practicality coming in where Divine Masculine isn't unjustly on a pedestal here, and you're not so bound by the expectations and assumptions of the journey. Okay, let's get some advice then. So that's where the Divine Feminine Collective is at, really focused on priority of personal happiness and the masculine second, if and when it's appropriate. So beautiful. So what can we see for advice? Well, the Queen of Wands just came out. Literally, yes. We see happiness, the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. So the advice is, Divine Masculines, it's like looking at the sunlight. Everything is illuminated. Look at your own inner awareness and your own happiness, and everything else is illuminated that's meant to be with you at any given time. Because if you're in your happiness, you're good on your own. If you're putting that as a priority, you're just fine. Easier said than done, but that was beautifully surprising to get the Queen of Wands there. Yeah, priorities are in order. All right, let's dive into a quick Divine Masculine check-in. So thank you, Divine Creator. What can we see for the Divine Masculine Collective? What are the Divine Masculines thinking and feeling? I'm being told to shuffle one more time. Thinking and feeling, wishing, doing, challenged by. What is the divine solution for that challenge? Where is the energy going in the near future? What can we see for the clarifiers? And I'm going to pull an energetic card. So I'm trying to feel into what I'm being told. It's not necessarily going to be an advice for the feminine like I sometimes do. It's going to be a further implications or an energetic connection card. Okay, we'll do it like that. So what is it that the Divine Masculines have on their mind space? They can feel your 10 of Cups happiness. It's in the reverse here. They are transcending the world. This is the Ascension card, is the World card in this deck. And so Divine Masculines are seeing that their own ascension, your ascension, the collective ascension, everybody is becoming accountable for their own happiness, for manifesting their own extraordinary existence. And so as you pull away from them, not only do they let go of their karmic situations, but they also then are left to be accountable for their own happiness, because there's no more putting the focus on you being there or chasing or just being ever present or knowing you're waiting for them. They can no longer pin their happiness or lack thereof on you, Divine Feminine. And so Divine Masculines have to rise up and above and step into the shoes, not being too big, I just heard. What can we see energetically? Yeah, that's what we'll do for the Divine Masculines watching that might be wondering, well, this card, Karmic Completion, Seal of Fulfilled Transformation, Alchemy, Metamorphosis, and Karmic Completion. So that is the ascension process, is when we rise up and out of the karmic soup and take accountability for our own happiness in our own right. So Divine Masculines, that is another level of karmic completion. I've often felt that we, or intuitively, that we undergo 7 to 12 major levels of karmic completion that relate to the chakras. And so, I'm getting that this is heart chakra, root and heart chakra. So generational patterns of love, I just heard. There is green and red in this card, which would be the green and the red of the heart and root chakras. But I'm very much taken with kind of seeing a layer of how love was modeled, how relationship love was modeled to the Divine Masculines, and now they are getting real with what actually feels authentic to them regarding love, and seeing through the things that they were trying to conform to. Okay, what are the Divine Masculines feeling on the heart space? Divine justice and an inner knowing. The keys to unlock their hearts, I just heard. So this is a divinely justified love. Not only is this the justice card, but in this deck it's divine justice with the High Priest. So this is heavenly ordained. They know that there is no way around it. This is an extraordinarily uncanny, I just heard, love. It is no ordinary love. And they know this beyond a shadow of a doubt on the heart space. They're seeing the final proof. I actually want to, okay, we're going to pull clarifiers on what that proof is. But for the Divine Masculines watching, what can we see? We get Orion, Stargate, power, authority, influence, and ambition. So Divine Feminine and Divine Masculines, I'm getting that your Divine Feminine, individuating and going for mission, being in the world, ambitious, innovative, being that influence, being an influencer, taking divine power and authority and bringing it out into the world. There is no other like your Divine Feminine in the ways that your Divine Feminine matches your energy. It's like lock and key, I just heard. It's divinely guided, divinely justified. All the twins being on the journey. This has been a necessary part of the becoming for the Divine Feminines to step into their birthright as lights in the world. And Golden Potentiator, quickening exponential expansion. Yes, seeing this, Divine Feminines brings in justice, which is the transition whereby what else do we have to do but love and come together and be in this energy. So Divine Masculines, how interesting. Now that you're seeing it, it's like lock and key, click, click. Okay, what can we look at though? What was the thing? What was the thing on the heart space? Yep, this deck. So the Queen of Wands came out of this deck earlier, but what is the thing aside from that Queen of Wands? Flew right over to the Queen of Wands. Page of Swords and the Hierophant again. So we just had the Hierophant. So they have seen your spiritual example. Wow, the Empress just fell off another deck. They've seen you go from who you used to be, Divine Feminine. They've gone through the transformation as well. Both have become this extraordinary version of spiritual embodiment, but they've been watching you. They've been watching your glow up. They've been watching your becoming. They've been watching you overcome anxiety and sleepless nights and fixation, obsession over them. They've seen you let go. They are consciously aware of the spiritual might and power that it takes, the influence you've had on them because you've taken your empowerment into your own hands. Your divine masculine knows how powerful this connection is. They know they weren't strong enough to do what you've done in letting go. Isn't that interesting? You know, they may stay quiet, they may not invest energy directly, but they can't walk away. Divine feminine, your divine masculine is the last man standing. Take the gender how it resonates. But isn't that interesting? I don't know if you're following what I'm saying, because it's so delightful coming through that I'm even having a giggle following this. But the divine masculines basically have realized they weren't strong enough to walk away. Not energetically, not for good, not even, you know, even though it looked like they did in the 3D, they didn't go anywhere. And yet you said enough was enough, divine feminine. That is what I'm seeing here. And that awesome revelation for them that you overcame that degree of connection, even with the divine telling you this is your counterpart, you were still able to be in enough mastery to put yourself first when you did not receive from the divine masculine. I want to say that true twin flame divine masculines are intuitively guided. They are not just being control freaks. They are intuitively guided not to come towards a counterpart, a divine counterpart. Sure, they have karmic situations. That's not the same thing. That is not actually a true loss of freedom, because it isn't. It's a taking an easy way, a shortcut, and so ego is involved, and there's a superiority thing that happens in the karmic situation. When you know that that person is not going to be the end of you, if something were to happen, there is no real true fear of loss to the degree of the divine templates. These connections are something else, and it's not that the divine masculines feared losing the divine feminines per se. They just did not feel like they could come forward. And they know a lot more than the divine feminines often think they do. Okay, let's see what the masculines are wishing at this time. To bring the deep subconscious, the emotional things, the elephants in the room, the things that need to be talked about that are deeper than the 3D. The struggles, the journey. I just heard a powwow about the last cycle, the wisdom that's come in. They want to have communion. They want to have conversations about what needs to be recognized in this last go round. I'm heavily getting communication there, that they're preparing for communication, that it's not necessarily the moon, and the 3 of coins doesn't necessarily usually indicate communication, but it's so much coming up from the deep, the secrets coming to light, the energetic wisdom revealed is what I'm hearing. It's on that level of the secrets with the moon. So what else can we see for the divine masculines? Starseed awakening, cosmic heritage, galactic remembrance. So this is the up-leveling, the ascension out of the world. I usually see layers of this happening. It was a couple of years ago, like 2 winters ago, where the divine masculines were really coming out into the public and talking in spiritual terms, or showing that they have wisdom and guiding others, maybe just in 3D ways even, but they were stepping into leadership. And over this last year, there has been this motion of increasing that confidence and composure and dropping the masks and getting real and talking about real things and influencing. And now I'm seeing it coming in even more within the knowing that the twin flame connection has been such an essential part of a cosmic level of understanding of life on the planet at this time. The bigness of the energies we're experiencing that aren't in our head, that are just mesmerizing with how the magnitude that's unfolding right now as we become a level 1 society. So the divine masculines are really seeing this coalescence of energies. They're seeing the cosmic, the influence of the moon, the effects of the whole planet. The moon affects the whole planet equally, and it's connected. Everything is connected with this cosmic becoming, and it's more than meets the eye here. There's something far larger going on, and the divine masculines are experiencing the desire to understand that more fully. Okay, what are the actions being taken at this time? They're seeing the truth of the anxiety and how to navigate their emotions. Anxiety is one of the most entrenched suffering energies. It's habitual cycling, it is ruminating on thoughts, noisy brain chatter, it's trying to figure out the darkness. A lot of divine masculines have been working this sleepless nights, manic, maybe lunatic energies with the moon here. Full moon energies. I don't even know when the full moon has most recently been, but there feels like something that has been turbulent, that the divine masculines have been wrestling with. And it is this leaving the worldly imprinting, seeing this higher truth, the infinite truth, the more eternally aligned, the divine truth, the truth that sets them free from all of this lower vibrational stuff, the deeper connectedness, the bigger picture, expansion of capacity, the unilateral room, the growth. Compassion holds the room in our hearts for all things, and the divine masculines have actively been seeing the bigger picture getting bigger, and it's been shifting their priorities, shifting their focus. As truths come in, they make changes in their lives, but the number one thing is they are overcoming anxiety because they're no longer in misconceptions. They're seeing more and more truth, I've heard. Okay, what is the clarifier? Universal understanding and objective observation. Exactly, they're seeing more of this universal cosmic perspective, and it's bringing in so much more ability to observe with non-attachment. Anxiety is one of the deepest forms of attachment. When we hang on and cling to something and it feels immovable, that is attachment. Okay, challenge. What is the biggest challenge at this time? Surrendering to love, admitting the love, going towards the commitment, knowing that it's a given. These connections are so powerfully ordained that there is nothing that can mess them up, nothing that can change them. Whether we've let go or not, they will be what they are. They have instructed our lives. They have worked through every aspect of our lives. I saw a box with cracks in it and water being poured in, and the water going into every single one, finding its way through the gravity of the situation. And that's like this. There is nowhere that this eternally aligned, steadfast energy doesn't find its way into the journey. It permeates the whole thing, is what I'm seeing. And the divine masculines are challenged by the awesomeness of that. Quite literally, it is inescapable. It is omnipresent, just as divine love itself. And we get, Pleiadian Stargate, freedom, sensitivity, beauty, and sensuality. So even though we have omnipresence, there is still freedom within that. It is a freeing thing. It actually, now I'm seeing the omnipresence of love as like a monorail track system. And it's like, how do I word this? It's like freeing because it has that foundation. It's like freeing because you can take your hands off the wheel and glide. That's what I'm getting. And then seal of evolutionary colors, progressive awareness, and multi-directional change. So instead of resisting what is, instead of fearing this omnipresence, all of a sudden there's a spin to it whereby it becomes a grounding so that the true fun can begin. So that is a very interesting message. What is the solution? We get Divine Masculine, King of Wands, and sovereignty. So the solution is, you are your own person, Divine Masculine. You don't have to fear commitment, that it's everywhere, that you can't help, you can't run from it anymore, you can't deny it. It's everywhere, it's in everything. This connection is mirrored back to you in every single regard, Divine Masculine, for your Divine Feminine. And so it is about realizing that even though it's everywhere, you're free. If you can't escape it, the irony is there's nothing to run from. If it's everywhere, there is nowhere to run. It's hard to express. I think you get it. But this freedom, you know, separation is an illusion. Union is an illusion. Our psyche, our ego interprets that dynamic or that truth, the truth of the omnipresence of love. The ego interprets that differently depending on which angle we're looking at. But Divine Masculines have come into being comfortable with the fact that love exists. Oh my gosh. Hell yeah. Divine Masculines, love exists. It's so awesome. Okay, what can we see? Crystal capacitor, storage, timed release, focused force. Now this is the first card I ever pulled out of this deck, and it's funny because it's a time capsule. So yeah, this was always a guarantee. Coming into this awareness was always set for these now moments for you, Divine Masculine. Crystal capacitor, storage, timed release, and focused force. So once there is enough belief, understanding, omnipresence gathered, that's when this focused force can be experienced. The becoming has culminated in this moment, Divine Masculines. This time, this part of the journey, you are really starting to sense that you've been free all along, that you're still free, that your freedom is a perceptionary shift, and that all of the things that you thought had power over you, that you were running from, are actually those very things that you can use as a springboard. That is beautiful energy. The Master of Flames is also the shaman, the embodiment of soul, the temple masculine, the body as temple energy, the sacred, the tantric, the sensual, I want to say the truly monogamous king. And we get communion, contemplation, and higher mind. So this is the walking embodiment of enlightenment. And there's the sun, the enlightenment evident there. So divine masculines, this is you being able to pray without ceasing, channel your experience, the divine insight at all times, and being in that alignment. So be one with everything, divine masculines. Where is this going? There is a foundation in the physical that's going to act as a framework to continue processing the heartache. So I'm hearing cleaning up the past, healing the things that have transpired in these couple situations with the twins. So standing the test of time just came through. So the Four of Coins can sometimes, or Four of Crystals can sometimes be a hoarding, clinging card, but it's also standing steadfast over time and being immovable. And so this is that energy that came through in the beginning, where the divine masculines are kind of in awe, divine feminines, that you actually let go because they know you're their perfect match. They know it, but they've seen you be strong enough to actually do the impossible, the unthinkable, the unimaginable. And here they are, just, sitting there knowing, maybe not themselves, but the knowing that this connection is a given. And that's such a splitting hairs energy, because these connections, when both counterparts acknowledge them, there is a full recognition that the connection has been there all along, through thick and thin, through sickness and in health, through better and worse, whatever those vows are always saying. All that stuff. Whether you've called it a relationship or not, the twin journey has included all those attributes. And that is the thing that is being recognized here. Whether the people have been of an energy of alignment with that or not is an entirely different thing. And this is where the true healing of heartache can come in. And then we get spiritual gifts, mystery, enchantment, and secrets. So this is the great secret all along, is that no matter what the humans could do to this journey, it was a divinely ordained thing. It was divinely justified. And that is the thing that seals and heals all the heartache. That recognition, that aha moment, that it's not the person, it's not the things that have transpired. It's the fact that these connections have been made of divine love. And the connection itself has been the foundation. Not any number of things that the humans have spazzed out and done in this journey. That's the great secret, that at the root of all of these things, it has truly been love itself. And that has been changing the planet, because when we see that in a connection like this, it makes us more loving people with everything else we deal with in our lives. That is what's changing the world. Okay, I'm being drawn to one more set of cards. So for the divine feminines, what can we see going forward for some advice? Oh, Four of Wands, union. Page of Swords, watch and wait. I just heard, you'll be surprised. There is still this new beginning energy, the Fool, coming in, and more karmic cleanup before that can happen. So divine feminines, you might find that there are friends and family and situations that come up right now that might seem like distractions. Don't run from those things. Every obstacle that comes up for you in any regard right now, Divine Feminines, thank it, because it is the very thing that you need to do to be diligent to come into your full alignment once and for all, is what I'm hearing. So whatever it is for you, Divine Feminines, that is coming up right now, do not resist it. It's like that saying, don't turn away a stranger, it might be an angel. I botch these sayings all the time, at least I can paraphrase. But it's like that. Don't resist any of the issues that are coming up right now for you to clear, Divine Feminines, because they are exactly the things that need to be done to make space in your life for a true union. And what is it we can see for the masculines? One card. I heard the wait now is almost over. So Divine Masculines, you've been investing, you've been waiting. The energy is kind of stubborn. It's been, for so long, it's been feeling like things are immovable, that things aren't going to be changing. So I'm getting July, the 7th month. So there's something before July. So we have the eclipse, end of April. But I am getting that there are, before the end of the growing season in Northern Hemisphere anyways, this is a gardening card, a crops ripening on the vine card. So yeah, July, August, there is going to be the next, after the eclipse energies, that's going to be, well, I'm just going to pull some cards. So what are we trying to see for the Divine Masculines here? What is going to happen by the end of August? Passion, putting the work in the physical, the Hermit, and so there's open mindset, coming out of Hermit mode, working in the physical, and sexual, sensual passion. At the beginning of the reading, we had the 3 of Coins in the reverse. I'm trying to go back to that. What was that with? Oh, I don't remember now. Oh, the moon, right. So the secret's coming to light. So all of the secrets are going to be coming to light and be workable. The secrets that are coming up as the final motion out of the alignment with the world, those old paradigm thinking, as the masculines fully release after the next eclipse. Because remember, the eclipses are like valving systems that take things out of our lives. They cut energies off, so to speak. So there are some major revelations that are going to be coming in for the masculines regarding the mystery of why they've made certain choices, the patterns in relationships, all of that. For whatever reason, that's the theme here. After it and unfolding into July, we're getting a resurgence of passion for you, Divine Feminine, zest for life, seeing the 3D now, including divinely blessed, justified abundance, happiness, with more of an open mind and not so much introverted solo processing. There's a coming out into collaboration energies a little bit more. I just heard the Grand Hermit mode is being finalized with that 7 of Coins. And this, I'm getting that, you know, we've been in this energy for quite a few years. As the feminine has woken up, the Divine Masculines have been in the Hermit mode, and it works together that way. But I'm seeing this is years in the making kind of Hermit mode completion. Okay, many blessings, everyone. Bye for now.